and how it can elevate your travel business. I am going to go over how to create flyers for your business, how to create email signatures for your business, uh, business cards. I'm kind of going to go over a brief overview of everything in the first half, and then the second half, once we do Canva Pro. Once we get into the Canva Pro, I'm going to show you how to, create. I'm going to show you my website and how I edit it, and it's a really great option. If you're someone who pays for Canva Pro, it's worth using it if you aren't already. There's also building your brand, which is really a great benefit of Canva Pro. So without further ado, I'm signed into my personal account right now, which is just a basic Canva. This is the free version. And we're going to go to Instagram posts. So the most common thing I use for flyers for my business, and this is what I use for flyers for specials, for mock bookings, for inspirational quotes. And I can show you a little bit more of what I do on a daily basis once we get through this. But so Instagram posts, the square is probably my most used template for Canva, essentially. So basically you're going to go into Canva, you're going to you can either pick a style or a template, which is basically just trying to decide on color schemes with styles. And then templates are basically just templates that are already done for you that you can just plug in your information, whatever you want to use it to post for. So if you're posting for like a sale, you can do this, like attention. If you are doing just a post on your Instagram for, Monday, Mad Monday, or, Wanderlust Wednesday, or Travel Thursday or Tuesday, or whatever, if there's any kind of content schedule that you're following, these are also great options because it gives you something that's kind of already put together, and you can kind of just add in the content that you want to use. And depending on the style or the template, you can actually go in, and there's sometimes they have, like, if you have a bulk content of a couple of different things, like say you have travel tips and there's multiple ones, it'll give you different ways. And what you can do is just go into this template and apply all 7 pages. So it'll bring you down to, it'll make each separate post. And what you can go in and do is actually like edit this out. So you can change out this picture by going to Elements over on the side. This is going to be your bread and butter. So you're going to go into Elements and you're going to find a picture that might fit what you're talking about. So say we're talking about travel tips. So you can go in and search for travel photos. And the ones with the little crown, those are available to you when you pay for Canva Pro. If they don't have a crown, they are ones that you can use without. So like this one is one that you can use without. And when you're going in to edit it, you're going to click delete. And if it's, so that particular image was actually just a photo. It wasn't actually in a frame. I like to use frames, which is another type of element that is over here on the side. So you're going to go into the elements and you can see that this is the most recently used. Shapes are basically like if there's a banner that you're putting on your site, or if you're doing something like this. So to see this is actually 2 different things that are grouped together. So you can play around with that a little bit. And you could remove theoretically the 5, or when it's not here. So I could just remove that 5 just by deleting that. And you can do other things. You can do shapes in here. You could do, so there's different shapes. You could do hearts, you could do squares. And so you would click on the image of the star, and you're going to change the color. So maybe you want to make it white and kind of follow what they were doing. You like the color scheme, but you want to do something a little different. You could do something like that. So basically everything on here, as far as whether it is a shape or different fonts, you can pretty much customize a lot without using the Canva Pro, which is really a great thing to have. Because if you like find a template that you like the template, but you don't like the actual colors, you can go in and change the colors. So like say I don't like this green, I'm just going to click on it. I'm going to come up here to the color and I'm going to change it to brown because I want to do my color scheme for my brand or for whatever I'm posting about content wise is going to be something that I want to use brown for, or I want to maybe use something, I'm talking about something tropical, or I'm talking about, say, carnival. Carnival's color is red. So you can do it specified to what the content is that you're creating it for. So, but using the pictures is such a great way of elevating it. I find that it's really kind of it gives it a little bit more when you're doing any kind of marketing. You know, it's to me, it looks like it's more than just like shapes and it elevates it a little bit. It doesn't look like it's something you did in, say, like paint or, one of those types of more rudimentary. It gives you more of an element of you're working with maybe someone who is a graphic designer. Now, the other reason why I like using frames is when you go into frames. So say you like this picture, but you don't like, maybe you want to cut out this part and you just want to have this plain. What you can do is go in and actually create, but you want it to be a bigger picture. You're going to go into frames and you're going to pick a frame. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that image and you're going to bring it into the frame. And then what you can do is kind of either enlarge it or make it smaller, or you can actually crop it out. So this is a good way of cropping things out. So say you just want to use the plain and you don't want that bus in there. That's a great way of kind of making it more of your own. Maybe you don't like everything in the photo. You can kind of be creative with that. And that's why I love Canva, because of the fact that you can be so creative. You can change things up. You can change fonts to a different font. You can change it to a different color. You can change it to something that fits more of either your brand or what you're documenting. So I can show you what I mean by different. So with second. All right, so like this is just an example of something I'm doing like for beaches. I'm doing a TikTok or a reel or story that is beach destinations that are perfect for mother-daughter vacations. So it kind of just I can specialize it to what colors and fonts. Like my normal brands, these are the fonts that I use, and these are the colors, and this is my logo. So when you have Canva Pro, this is kind of something you can create for yourself that you can kind of always go back to if you want to do something that's specific to your brand, or if you just want to do something that's kind of off the brand, but kind of specialize it a little bit for what they're doing. Like I felt like that font was a little more beachy than the fonts I have. I just picked these fonts because I liked them, and that's what I put into my logo. But you can kind of customize it to whatever it is that you're creating as far as content, and it gives you a little bit more freedom. You can do different colors of fonts. You can do different fonts. You can do bigger fonts, smaller fonts. You can add in emojis. You can get really specific with Canva, and that's kind of, you get a little, you can get carried away because it can be very fun to play around in Canva, but it's definitely something that is a great tool for creating things that are good. I mean, I use Canva for literally everything. I use it for flyers, so I use it for actually my Facebook cover, for my business posts, and for my personal. I use it for my just want to show you a few other options. So like I am doing something with daily affirmations. So this is one idea for content that you can use Canva. And this is something that you could probably do with Canva, with the free Canva version, and not be too, it doesn't have to be too difficult, and you don't have to worry about using anything that is for pro specifically. So I just created, I liked the colors and I liked the shapes. And so I just kind of created a bunch of different pages of the same thing just by using duplicate page. So what you do is when you're in a page, say you create something and you want to create a series of posts, say over even a certain day, if you're doing something like, Black Friday deals and things like that, and you want to keep it to your brand versus the vendor that you're using, this is a great way of doing that. And you can create multiple different flyers that you can use and just change up the content that's on them. So you can lock, allowing only to replace content. So this way it doesn't move the other stuff here. So like you can't move your actual pictures or anything like that. And that can get helpful because if you are going crazy with making different content and you're doing something like this, it could be easy to pick something up without accidentally meaning to. And you're like, oh no, how did I do that? Thank God for the undo button. But if you lock it, you won't have to worry about that so much and you can focus more on your content and picking up things and moving them. Say you're typing something out and you want to move it around a little bit, but you don't want to hit these things, you're going to lock it. So this way, all you have to do is, you're going to lock it and say I want to lock the content. I can take this content and drop it over to this part. Where did it go? So you can actually come in and actually edit the content that's in here instead of going through and worrying about picking things up and moving them. Okay. So there's, like I said, a host of things that you can use it for content on your socials. You can also do things like make a email signature. So I'm going to show you mine just to get an idea, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So an email signature is going to look like this. It's basically a virtual business card. You're going to take that and you're going to put that at the end of your emails. You can use it in Gmail and kind of elevate the way your emails look when they're coming from your Google account. If you have a Google account, if you use something else, you can. So just an example, when I go in to create an email, it pre-populates that it's there and it's going to be at the bottom of all my emails. So it has all of those, and it makes it look a little more professional, especially when you're using a Gmail account or you're using a business account from Gmail. It kind of elevates it a little bit. Some email providers will not, will be a little more tricky. That could be a whole training in itself. But just to kind of give you an idea, you can go in, you can customize, you can put your signature, your actual signature, you can put your information, your business, and it's basically essentially what it is. It's a digital business card that you're putting at the bottom of all of your emails so that when your clients receive an email, it kind of looks a little more professional, a little more prestigious. And I will show you how to do that as well. So you're going to go in and basically it's creating the design. You're going to go in and you can actually do a host of different things. You can do postcards, you can do desktop wallpaper. You can do brochures, you can do note cards, business cards. This is what you can do. You can do either a landscape or you can do a profile, a portrait. And there's a host of different ideas, or you can customize. You can do things. You don't have to use a template. You don't have to use, a specific thing that, color style. You can just go in and kind of be free and make it how you want it to look. That's how I came up with mine. I found a logo I liked and I built from there. If you haven't made any business cards yet, I would suggest doing that, creating your logo first, because your mind could change on what you want your business card to look like if you're not set on your actual logo. Does everybody have logos and everything? Like where, if you can put in the chat how far you are into the journey as far as learning, and if you have anything established or if you are just starting out. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Victoria. Okay. So yeah, if you have your business card and your logo, what you can do is you can create, if you don't already have a email signature, you can design it based on your actual business card and what you're using currently, and just use that. If you already have it, that's great. It's one of those things where I definitely recommend where, oh, hold on, we have someone else coming in. Nice, Carmen. Almost 3 years. That's awesome. Okay. Been an agent for 2 months. Cool. Awesome. So we have a good smattering of people of all different levels. So that's great. Awesome. So yeah, so I'm going to switch over to from the email signature, but I'm going to, let's see, we did business cards, we did email signatures, we did basic flyers. I'm going to show you, let's see. There's also videos you can do, which are a great way of using Reels right now, because Reels are really hot and they're really popular for, yes, you can make a video in Canva. So you can make a video in Canva, and you can also create videos based on what the content that they have in there that is available for you to use. If you pay for the pro version, there is, of course, a lot more available to you when making videos. So to give you an example, when I was doing that actual this the best places to go on a mother-daughter vacation, beach vacation, those were these are all videos that were already in there that I didn't create content for. So they were all just there and I kind of put them together. So I went in and actually, the only thing I uploaded was a transparent version of my logo. Everything else that you see in all these pictures, and these are all videos. So I'll run it for you so you can kind of get an idea of what it would look like. Oop. So that's just to give you an idea. All of those videos that I'm using were all from the actual elements. So these are all free. These are all ones that were theirs and not my content. And I just was able to do that. But you can also create in Canva, you can also create an actual video. So you can go in and you can record yourself. So you're going to go to that little purple bar and you can actually record, like I'm recording my voice right now over this actual. Beach destinations that are perfect for a mother-daughter vacation. Oh. So you can do voiceovers on already chosen content, or what you can do is you can go in and you can actually create one. So I'll go in and I'll create a new design. Creating a design, you're going to go in and you're going to create a video, and it will bring you into the video studio. So you can actually create videos of your own, either using just you. Watch, I'll put on here. Bear with me, I'm just flipping around my camera. Oh, it's on my, okay. So it actually is recording from my phone for some reason. I don't know if it has to do with with the Zoom or what, but so basically you can, like I said, you can actually record yourself, and you can do a video here. So you can do different effects. So say you didn't put makeup on that day and you want a skin smooth. Filters, you can do different filters. There's a lot of things you can actually do in this studio that are really, the only thing I'm trying to figure out is how to enlarge this, because I know there's a way. Bear with me for 1 second. Yeah, you can do videos, you can do voiceovers in it. I don't love it for videos. I like to create videos and then edit them in Canva. That's just me personally. I haven't done enough actually creating videos. Let's see, give me a second. I'm just moving everything around here. But yeah, I haven't done too much as far as creating videos in Canva. I usually create them and then upload them onto Canva, and then I can edit. The one great thing about using a video in Canva and editing it here is you can actually go in and you can edit the video and change like how much of the clip you want to use. So you can go up to the top here and you're going to create, like, say you only want to use a 5-second clip. You're going to go in and edit 5 seconds. And there you go. So then you have just a 5-second clip. It'll be on loop, but it'll be basically what you can use for socials, whether you're doing a reel, a story, or even just something on Instagram, on an Instagram post. If you want to just do a short video of some sort, you can definitely shave things down to what you need and what you're looking for as far as time wise. I think right now they're saying that the time, because of TikTok coming in and becoming so popular, that the typical space of time that you have to capture someone's interest is like 3 to 5 or 3 to 7 seconds or 5 to 7 seconds. It's 7 seconds is what you got. And that's like best case scenario. So the shorter content, the better as far as videos are concerned. And that's pretty much where you want to try to be. When you're doing obviously more content or you're doing a story that captures, if you're going to do something that's longer as far as content, I would definitely grasp them in the first like 5 to 7 seconds And then if they are interested, they'll stay on for the rest of the content. But that's like where you want to grasp their attention. If it's something that you want them to continue to watch, you want to grasp it in the first 5 to 7 seconds. So it's really, I love editing videos in Canva. I haven't actually done any. Um, I more will do voiceovers and everything else. But there's lots of really great ways there's a lot of other really great studios that you can make videos in that are a little more what's I'm looking for, that are a little more user friendly. Let's see, I'm trying to think of which ones. Content graphics. I think there's a couple of video studio websites. I mean, obviously there's YouTube, which is probably one of the most common ones. Lemon Light I've heard of. There's a few more. I think Clutch is another one I've heard about that is really good and easy. But there's better ones out there than Canva is basically what I'm getting at. Yeah, so we did some videos on how to create those, where to get content, and I can definitely create one from start to finish if that is something you guys want to see. As far as making like something like what you saw before with what I'm working on with the beach. I've done a few. Let me see. I did one because I also specialize in bachelorette parties. So I did one that was a promo story, and I added music to it, and I added my wording that I wanted, and I put my logo at the bottom. So this is what it looks like basically when you. And I use that as basically just a story one day on my Instagram to kind of drum up business for bachelorette parties so that people know that I'm actually someone who specializes in that, so I can help her, so I can help them plan their next bachelorette party. I live outside of Nashville, so Nashville is actually like the bachelorette capital of the world right now, or not the world, but of the country. So it's a very common place to go to do your bachelorette parties or bachelor parties. But yeah, so that's just an example of something you can do, and you can create, and then it kind of elevates it and makes it look a little bit, it's not just you talking on a video. It's not just you putting up pictures. It kind of gives you a little bit more freedom to kind of design and make it look a little bit more like maybe you're paying someone. I didn't make any of these. I didn't draw these icons. I went and copied and pasted them. So, I'm not good at drawing, but I know what I like, and I like putting certain colors together and things that match, and like making it look cohesive. So kind of you can be your own, you can choose what you want, how you want to shape your business as far as what it's looking like from a visual standpoint, which is why Canva is an incredible tool. And I definitely, if you're not using Canva Pro and you're interested in making more content on Canva, I would definitely go for the Canva Pro, because it gives you a lot of additional content inside of Canva that you can use. Obviously, that's always going to be the case whenever you're talking about any kind of software you're creating with, but it's definitely worth it. I think that they have a lot of really beautiful videos and images, and different graphics and such. And there's the image generator is another really cool tool you can use. So like you go into to AI, and it's so cool. You can go in and say, I want you to create for me, um, let's see, a woman sitting reading on the beach. And you just give that to the AI, and they're going to create for you an image that you could use for for any of the content you're deciding to create. So look at that. These are three beautiful images that you can use that you can use in any kind, and you can get different styles. So you can do dreamy, you can do watercolor, you can do minimalist, whatever matches your brand and the type of art you want it to look like. You can do photos. They have like, so, and you can go again. You go back and you can regenerate. You can change what you're trying to say. You can choose from a square to a landscape to a portrait, whatever is appropriate for what you're looking for. You can do photo, you can do anime, there's so many different ways you can play around with this. You could go for hours just playing around with different images, just being created by Magic Media, which is the AI within Canva. It's got some really great things. Magic Media also, you can go into your brand and create a brand voice. You can go in and write, just a simple couple of sentences that are how you want your brand to be perceived, and kind of build your content from there. For me, my company is Wanderlust Adventures by Kay. I want to encourage my clients to go and do everything that they dream about doing from a travel standpoint. If you want to go, and like, I have a girlfriend who is right now in Patagonia, and she's hiking in the mountains in Patagonia. That's the kind of people I want to bring to my business, and that's going to be different for everybody. Your business, you might be looking for someone who is, interested in Disney, and you can use Disney, and there's plenty of Disney images in here that you can go in and use, and you can create your brand voice, of creating the most incredible family experience at Disney World. And that could be your brand voice. And then everything that you can go in and actually type in something and then ask them to rewrite it for you in your brand voice. It's really an incredible tool, that their AI in Canva. And it's definitely something you'll want to play around with too. And again, that's something, AI in itself is something you could do a whole training on. And how to utilize that to create content for both your social medias, your emails. There's a lot of ways to use it, and it kind of takes a load off. It's like almost like a virtual assistant. You can train your chat GPT to be your virtual assistant and to write emails for you, and to, handle certain tasks. So it's really an incredible thing that you should definitely, look into further, and kind of start to try to educate yourself, because it's something that's totally a huge tool to be used. But yeah, there's different things you can do inside of Canva with AI creates that kind of takes some of the creativity that you might be lacking, and you can kind of just lean on the AI a little bit and allow them to create things for you. So definitely something really cool to use. I use it sometimes. I don't use it all the time, but it's definitely a fun little thing to play around with. And it's definitely can be, utilized if you're someone who likes certain, to generate something more specific. So like, you could do dreamy and say, family and Disney. Sometimes it's a little cheesy, some of the things they create, but okay, so yeah. Family family of 4 on a vacation in a magical vacation, maybe we'll put. So that's a cool little image. You might even want to incorporate that in like your brand. But that's a great way of doing something. So say you don't want to do videos and you don't want to do a photo, do an AI image. And that's something that could be really fun. Like if you're doing a Disney promo, and you want to add something and it's different than what other people are doing, like their typical Disney content, that's a really cool way of adding that. That's a cool font. I mean, some people might really, be drawn to that. and it's different than what you're normally seeing, and it kind of can be eye capturing. So just different ways of using that that are definitely, it's definitely something that's there and can be used, and it and can be fun. Um, as far as videos, you have a plethora of options, especially when you're in the pro category. Um, so there's everything and anything. You could do any number of things. Um, but yeah, so that's how I put together videos for my stories and my reels, both on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Because TikTok, if you're not on TikTok, if you're not in that TikTok space, you definitely should consider it. It is something that is pretty large growing. I know that there's, different feelings on whether or not it's good or not. But it's a great platform to use if you're wanting to go with people that are very, visually stimulated. And this is like something that could be, if you're in TikTok and you're in Instagram, you definitely want to be working with Canva, because there's so much content that you can use that kind of is content that's already done for you, that isn't something you have to create. You can add, music like this. I added Girls Just Want to Have Fun in Canva. I didn't have to do that in Instagram. You can do it in Instagram if you'd like to, but you don't have to. They have tons of audio available here for you. They have some popular music. They have, different instrumentals you can use. They have piano, they have vocals, they have all different kinds of things. You could do ambient, you could do, any kind of, they have travel music, they have a calypso. So you can do, like, I just became a specialist for Jamaica, and I'm working on content for that so that I can promote that. And as you get different certifications, specialty certifications, or you change course and what you want to offer to your clients, and you adjust to what you're specializing in, you can kind of go in and create things as you want to, or what it's just, there's the literally the possibilities are endless. If you want to do weddings, there's different kinds of audios in here that you can use. There's plenty of videos, and you can create things without ever having to create your own content. And that's why Canva is such a great thing, because some people are overwhelmed by the idea of creating content. They don't know where to start. They don't know, maybe they're not good with a camera. Maybe they're not good with video. Maybe they're not good with, picking out different ways of putting things and making pictures. But and Instagram is one of those places where it started out in that way, like where it was just like people taking picture of their food and people taking pictures of, themselves in different positions and in different places. And it became a little bit more than that, which is kind of cool to see over the time. But it's sometimes it could be really intimidating, especially when you're a business and you're like, oh my God, now I'm, having to create content on a regular basis to keep up with algorithms and becoming and staying current and staying relevant, because a lot of how we get our business as travel agents is by social media. So to keep up with all the trends that are constantly changing, can't this kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off. You don't have to worry about so much creating the content. You can go and you can take more courses on what's relevant, what's keeping you relevant and current right now as far as social media. Like I said, the 5 to 7 seconds of someone's attention span, that's something that's newer. That's since the birth of TikTok. Before that, it was, that the attention span was a lot greater and you had more time to capture someone's interest. Now, with the birth of TikTok and the popularity of it and the growth of it, you want to know those things more than and focus more on those things than creating content as much, especially when you have something like Canva that is available to you, that you can create content that's already kind of done for you, and you just put it together based on whatever it is you're trying to, whatever message it is you're trying to put out there. So definitely a really great use of Canva Pro is doing things like reels and stories and stuff on there. And like I said, you can still add your content. You can upload videos, you can upload pictures, you can do that in your videos, but it's definitely something you want to edit. It's a lot of fun to edit. You can really customize things. You can change the fonts here. You can change the pictures. I just love it because it's something that's really editable and very user friendly. The more you play around in it, the more you realize, and you can add effects. You can add different, the way you want the font to look. You can change that on there too. There's so much that you can customize and you can edit that makes it really, not just some plain picture with a couple of words on it that are pertinent to what you're trying to say or what you're trying to sell. So it's definitely really cool. And you can change also like the way the words come out like onto the screen. You can put pop, and you can do it on both in and out. You can drift it in. You can do all kinds of things and you can really, really kind of play around with it and make it what you want it to be. So these are just ways. Is there anything else that anybody wants to see as far as I know I gave you a lot of information. There is a ton you can do in Canva. I know that in a few weeks, one of my teammates is actually going to be doing a Canva training on creating content, bulk creating content using the AI in Canva, which is awesome. Like I think you can create something like 30 pieces of content in 30 seconds thanks to Canva, to Canva's AI. So there's all